Yo, check it out. Winston-Salem, what's happening? It's your boy Bugatti, the host, and this is another episode of Pink Talk Podcast. We got a couple special guests in the building, but before we get started, I got to shout out Open Media Lab, my man EA Sports, Miss Faye. Y'all make sure y'all follow the podcast on IG at Pink Talk Podcast. Y'all follow me on IG as well at B_Bugatti, the host. But back to our special guest, I got my man, the program director of one of the hottest stations in the Carolinas. Alongside of him, we have executive chef, Mrs. Shanta Faison, right here at Pink Talk Podcast, man. I appreciate y'all stopping in and rocking with us today. You know what I mean? It's rainy. I know y'all probably want to be at home Netflixing and chilling or whatever. You probably at home preparing some of this good stuff that you got. We're going to talk about that in a minute. But introduce yourselves to the people. We're going to start with the lady. You know, ladies is first, and then she's cooking. So we definitely got to let her go first so we can get some of that food.
Well, my name is, like I said, I'm executive chef Shanta Faison. I have my own catering company, which is called Twin City Catering Company here in Winston-Salem. And I also have my own product line, which is called Rosey Bloom Collard Greens, which is, we have a turkey version and we also have a vegan version. We are currently now in like 40 stores here across North Carolina and also across 4 states. So it's an honor to be here, and thanks for having me on tonight.
I appreciate you coming once again. I see you doing big things, but before we get to all what you got going on, we gonna find out what get a little introduction from my man Big Mo. But you keep that seat warm, keep your voice crisp, because we're gonna be doing a lot of talking tonight.
All right. Yo, what up? Big Mo, 102 Jams, program director. Like Bobby said, man, I've been doing this thing a long time. Been programming since 2016. I've been in Jam since 2002. I do a show 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Monday through Friday, but people think that I actually just go home and just chill after that, but it doesn't work like that. I work from anywhere between 8 to whenever the job gets done. So, you know, we try to find the hottest music for the streets, for the Carolinas, for the whatever's like about to pop in the country. We try to play it on first. I mean, yeah, that's about everything I do right there, man. It's self-said right there.
And me, I know firsthand that you do a lot because I'm similar to what you're doing. Mm-hmm. So I'm trying to juggle this, but you've been doing it for a minute, so you got it balanced.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to get there.
It still gets hard here and there, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, if you love what you do, then it's all good.
Definitely.
Know what I mean? Doesn't matter.
So what got you started into mass communications? What made you say I want to be that personality?
Well, I went to A&T, you know what I'm saying, Aggie Pride, and played football.
Okay.
And after football, I needed something to do. Like, I just didn't know what I want to do besides play sports. I mean, the dream was to play in the NFL, but that didn't work out. So I got into radio. Started 90.1 WNA, it's an A&T station.
Okay.
Then the boss at 102 Jams at the time heard me, and he wanted me to send my air check through Terrence. You know Terrence J.
Yes.
So then Terrence J got
Shout
me right.
Shout out to Terrence J.
Yeah, and then Terrence was like, yo, he got me the interview set up, and everything else is history. Like, I just like radio because I love music. Okay. So I couldn't rap. I can't sing. I can't play an instrument. You know what I'm saying? But I love music. And then when one of the program directors for WNA told me, yo, you have a great radio voice, I was like, I don't know what that means, but I'm going to go ahead and run with it. And then everything else has been history, and I've been at Jams ever since, man. Okay. So I got lucky that way.
Okay. Yeah, and I like I said, I've been alongside you for a minute.
Long
you know
time.
What I'm saying? Like, when I first met you, I just was stepping in. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And I used to see you rocking the stage. It wasn't Bucan. What was it then? It was Rio.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Second Saturday at Rio. You know what I mean? And I used to see you guys up there. Yeah. You know what I mean? And like I said, I was just stepping in. And I used to always just watch y'all. You know what I mean? And like, yo, I want to get into radio. You know, like it's something that I always wanted to do, but I know I didn't have that educational background. You know what I mean? So I just watched you guys, you know what I mean? Like I always stayed in tune with Tap, you know what I mean? KB, Fat G's, B-Dot, you know what I mean?
And that's how I got into radio myself, as far as like meeting everybody, just going out. Like I used to go to the Screaming Parrot. Okay. So I used to, that's how I met Showdown.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? So Showdown, me and him were just connecting, and he was like, yo, you want to be an intern for me? I was like, yeah, whatever. I don't know what an intern is. So all you got to do is carry the crates, and I can let you rock the mic. I didn't know how to rock a mic. Like, so one night, Showdown got really toe up. And he was like, yo, do this party. And I'm like, all right, I don't know what I'm doing. So he was like, yo, just keep drinking and get mad drunk. You'll be fine. So, and next thing you know, Tap comes in and sees me rocking. Kyle Santillion came in. And then that's how I just started meeting all these guys, Jay Flex, and that's how I just networked with all them guys. So by the time I got the jams, I already knew everybody.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
man, we definitely got similar stories.
Yeah.
For real. Because that's exactly how I got started at Platinum, getting drunk, on the mic.
Mm-hmm.
And then like, yo, your voice sounds good. I'm like, I sound like I got a mouthful of crap. But
right.
other people think different.
Yeah. Whatever they say, you just run with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and now, like, I mean, I still love hosting parties, but man, my schedule be so crazy. Like, I can't even host parties like I used to. Like, we used to be at Buchanan's like every Friday and Saturday night eating wings till late nights. You know what I'm saying?
We on the JG till 6 in the
oh
morning.
my God, man, I can't do it no more.
Right.
Like, yo, just cash at me, bro.
Yeah,
I can't.
facts.
I can't do it.
Facts. Now you, Miss Shanta. Did I say it right?
It's Shanta.
Shanta, excuse me. I don't want to mess your name up. Miss Shanta, as far as you being executive chef, how did you get into cooking? Is that something that you mimic, being in the kitchen when you were young?
Well, actually, yes and no. Well, I grew up in a household full of cooks, my grandmothers and, aunties and stuff. But what actually got me into it was when I was in the fourth grade, my grandmother had a heart attack, and I was in a home with her, and I saved her life. And when she actually came home, she couldn't walk.
Okay.
And so that summer, I actually moved in with her, and my aunts worked all the time, so I would cook her dinner, and just to help out for them. But when she was able to get on a walker, she would come in the kitchen and teach me how to cook like certain things and stuff like that. And so I didn't realize I was catering until now, because I made sure that her plates looked pretty and she had fruit in her glasses and, stuff like that. So I try to give her an experience without having to like come into the kitchen.
Okay.
So that basically inspired my cooking originally. And then I actually got into it wanting to produce my own product line because I didn't want to work.
Okay.
I wanted to sit on the beach or something and look at my laptop and see how much money I made just selling collard greens.
I know that's right.
And I just wanted to sell collard greens, but I didn't know the right way to go about put them on the shelves.
Right.
And so I was thinking at first, I was like, oh, well, maybe I just give them out, and that was wrong. And then I said, well, maybe if I just, go around and get people reviews and maybe I can take it to the store, and so from there, like people tasting them, they start asking me to cater.
Okay.
For like events and stuff like that. And so I started doing that. And then my uncle, he was a professor at UNC Chapel Hill, and he's legally blind. So he would teach a class that people would pay to eat lunch, and he couldn't get around to like take them or get the food. So he asked me to cook.
Okay.
And so that was like one of my really first catering jobs. And after that, I was like, well, I don't want to do this, and I don't have license or didn't have, and he gave me a check. So I was like, I need more checks,
I know that's right.
Because like before then, I was I'm also an artist. I paint.
Okay.
So I was selling my work like locally, and I was selling internationally. Like my work was going to Greece, Macedonia, New York, Lincoln Center. So that's what I was doing, like on the street selling prints and T-shirts and stuff like that. And so when I tapped over into the catering world, I knew people because of my art and being in art shows and stuff like that. So it kind of made it easy. And so, but anyway, so that's pretty much how I started. And then from there, I was like, well, I need more checks, so definitely. I started advertising, and I was doing barbershops and selling plates. And this was like early 2020, like 2000, excuse me. And so, I was selling plates, and then I started doing some of the club catering and stuff like that. So a lot of the wings y'all talking about, you probably was some of my wings that you eat, and in the club. And then I became the executive chef over at a hotel. And so I was there for 12 years as their executive chef. I've cooked for so many people here in Winston-Salem. And about 4 years ago, I branched out and went full-time with my catering company. Within that time frame, I did meet a guy that had his product in like 100 and something Lowe's Foods, and he showed me the route that I needed to take. And then it took me 4 years to get my product state approved. And it got state approved like 2 years ago.
Well, you did it. You did it. Timing is everything. Timing is definitely everything.
It is.
So, like you said, you are an artist. So, what made you say, I want to go catering versus art?
Art. Well, the art, I took that back after my father because he was an artist.
Okay.
I always had a desire to cook, because a lot of people loved my food. I used to cook, for just people. I like, as long as you buy the food, I cook it, and that type thing. But then when you have art exhibitions, sometimes that's just what it is. The art exhibition, people come and view the work. The work could travel, but you don't really see like real income in it,
So it might be
it's like a starving artist.
Okay,
yeah,
a hit or a miss. You may have a lucky art exhibit, or you may just go home waiting for the next one.
And look how many times you've probably gone into a bank or some building and it's just artwork and the price is just sitting on the piece. Like there's no, real income for that.
Yeah.
But you do a catering job, you charge a deposit. And, and then get the remaining balance just like a check then, So, you seeing printed those and you can make money and actually make a living. So I picked that, and then I made art kind of secondary. But I want to combine culinary arts because it's all art. So culinary arts and visual arts together. And my whole motto is to make it one because presentation is a really big thing to me.
Definitely. Mm-hmm. And I'm looking at your presentation on the collard greens, to have them in a glass jar. A lot of people funny about greens.
Oh, yeah.
People are definitely funny about collard greens in general. You know what I mean? And for you to have them in that glass, they can kind of see the visual of the greens, I guess the quality of the greens. Let's talk about those Rosey Bloom greens. Did I say right?
Yes, Rosey Bloom collard greens.
What inspired those?
Well, like I said, I wanted to sell collard greens. People love my collard greens, so I was like, well, that's the only thing I wanted to sell, and so they love my collard greens and then, put them on the shelf. I changed the name because it used to be like another name besides Rosey Blooms. I named the product after my grandmother. Okay. And so the picture that you see is actually a picture of her. Okay. And this is like her senior picture of high school. Okay. And so that's the only thing I wanted to sell was the collard greens. But then, you tell God your own plan and he gives you a different one. So, I ended up doing food first. And now I'm surfacing back to the collard greens. Okay. But yeah.
Okay. I'm just looking at the presentation.
I wanted to keep it in a jar because they're, highly flavored and seasoned. And I wanted people to be able to see the ingredients of them. I know people say, are you going to do another product? I want to master this one because the first product, I actually picked the hardest product to produce because, it's a lot of work to put into cleaning and picking and, everything that goes with making collard greens. It's a long process to cook, and so I wanted, for people to be able to not have to do the extra work that, you would normally have to do to prepare the collard greens. And plus, you don't have to add anything to them. Right. They're very flavorful. Okay. So I'm going to keep it in a mason jar. And people say, I get the questions all the time, like, well, are you going to do another product? And I'm just like, well, I don't know, because I want to master this first. But then they would say, well, Krispy Kreme only does donuts, so right. Look, I'm just gonna stick with that.
You're playing better than anybody else.
Oh yeah.
What stores are they selling those at?
So right now we're in all the mass general stores, which is so we're in a lot of like boutique stores, general stores.
Okay.
We're in Greensboro and Deep Roots. And we're also in like Mustard and Crutchfield and Kernersville, but we're spread it out. We're in like the Charleston Museum. So it's just like we're just kind of spread it out all over. But we're currently in 40 stores in North Carolina.
All right, that's dope right there. That's dope right there. Some people can't even get in one. You're in 40.
Yeah, and we were doing a lot of farmers markets originally, and we do like a lot of expos. We traveled to like Great Food Expo in New Jersey. We've gone to the Women's Expo in Atlanta. And we normally have our big red pot, and people know us by our pots. You can follow us on Instagram. You can see all the pictures, from all of our expos and everything like that. And, kids love them. Parents loved it because their kids love them, and it's hard for them to eat like vegetables and get them to eat vegetables. So that's been a really great seller for us. But they're healthy and they're good. So
they want that dessert. They're gonna eat them vegetables.
Oh yeah,
that jar looks good.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I'm staring at that.
I want one of the jars.
For real. Big Mo, man. It's a lot been going on, man. We've been in this pandemic since March. Yeah. And I know it affected both of you guys. We're gonna start with you. How has it affected you as far as with 102 Jams?
Well, with 102 Jams, we were live all the time. We always had someone in the studio kicking it, taking calls, all that stuff. But when the pandemic hit, couldn't be in the studio no more.
Right.
And, the hardest thing for me was letting go most of my staff. Like, that was really hard. Especially, you got to let go of people. They ain't do nothing wrong. That sucks. So,
yeah.
That's one thing we really had to change. I mean, the company gave us computers and a mic so we can just do everything from the crib. But it's just not the same feeling. Like, with Jams, we're a family. You know what I'm saying? So, not seeing the morning show every day, not seeing G's and Mark every day is weird. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's one thing I had to adjust to. Just trying to get that same energy at the house like I would have in the studio. Because when you're in the studio, you can find energy instantly.
Right.
But when you just waking up, going downstairs to go in and do a show, it's not the same type of energy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I had to try to find that. So that's been a big change. And not going out as far as like giving stickers and meeting the people and going to different businesses and just chopping up with the listeners. That's been different. Can't do that because of the pandemic. So
you can't be in tune with the community.
Yeah, man. It sucks. Like, people want us to do this, and that, but it was like, we can't even move. Like, the company won't let us move our trucks right now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, there's nothing that we can do. It's stationary. And then not doing a car show, that hurt.
Yeah, man. The car show.
The car show was getting bigger and bigger. Yeah. And I could go ahead and tell you now because it's over, but I had two of the biggest artists coming this year. I had Little Baby and the Baby on set to perform this year. But when the pandemic hit, there was nothing that nobody can do. There was no traveling. So a lot of it sucked. But the only good thing about it, man, we did not lose our numbers. Our numbers really gained. So our ratings have been
listening because
there's nothing else to do.
Right.
So our ratings been off the chain. So
Word.
that's a great thing.
That's
and it keeps me to keep my job. So that's another good thing.
Word, that's what's up, man. Yeah. So you personally, how do you feel like you personally overcame, the pandemic and the energy that you needed at home to keep moving?
I mean, you just gotta find it within. I mean, if you love what you do, and you could go and always get that energy. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then like finding different stories. Like at work, I could find stories at my job on my computer. Boom, 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 boom. But now social media is so heavy, it just comes on your phone.
Yeah.
You got crazy president, so that makes it even better to make. So you can find ex-president.
He's out of there.
Boy, I hope you're right, man. Because this dude here, he ain't even conceded yet. But that's a whole different story.
Right.
It's crazy. But it's just, you just got to find different ways to motivate yourself to do a great show, and that's all I was able to do, just to find that energy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because I mean, like I said, when I'm in the city, I'm tuned in. You know what I mean?
Appreciate it.
And like I didn't know, like I said, I didn't know that all of y'all was at home because it definitely, you can't tell. You know what I mean?
And that's a good thing. Like, but when we first started in March, you could tell like something was up because my breaks, I mean, it sounded like it was in a water bottle. It was just crazy. It was just bad. But the more we worked on it, it got it better. So now it sounds like we actually in the studio. You know what I'm saying? So that's a great thing. But it took a lot of time and patience to get that right.
Man, you ain't got to tell me.
Man, it's tough.
I do it once a week, and you know, man, I'm doing it from start to finish. So, one time before I got my first show, I almost hit abort. But like you said,
you did it. Yeah,
passionate about it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Now you, Miss Shanta, how did the COVID affect you?
Well, actually, at the beginning of 2020, I was starting to get like a lot of major contracts that end up having to be postponed and canceled because of the pandemic. And a lot of my events, I do a lot of wedding receptions, corporate events and stuff. And a lot of those are over 100 people, you know. So at first you like, okay, they say you got to lower the number. Then they kept lowering the number. And us in this industry, as far as like the entertainment or events and stuff like that, we took like the biggest hits because a lot of, you know, our events consist of over, you know, 50 people, 10 people, you know, and a lot of the event centers and stuff closed. So, you know, at first I was really, it was bittersweet because I enjoyed being home, you know, and not having a client call me for anything and watch Netflix, catch up on some stuff, you know. It was relaxing, you know, and so I actually enjoyed it, and I didn't realize I needed like that break for myself, you know. But then after a while, you know, you have all that downtime, then you're like, okay, what's next? And then so I was fortunate enough to where people started calling me for like some home events and stuff once we got into like phase 2 and stuff, and you know, and some of the numbers where people was able to do things like 10 people in the house and or private chef stuff. So that kind of helped me out, and I've been pretty busy. Like I had a banquet today, you know, early today, and Zoom meeting. And now here, you know, so we're doing like, now I'm doing like a lot of meal planning.
I seen you've been pretty busy here lately. You know, I did a little snooping on your page, and I seen you, she's in the city of Greensboro quite often. And just looking at her page, she fed 100 meals per day.
Yeah, for the community, in Greensboro.
100 meals per day.
Yeah.
And how long did you do that for?
So I did it for a week. So a lot of chefs, we couldn't apply for a lot of the community grants because we're not a non-profit. Okay. So if there's other companies that are non-profits that can apply for these grants, but they can't cook. You know, so they will hire a lot of chefs locally to fulfill the community meals. So they will split it up amongst different chefs in the community and give us like a week, some days, you know, and we would, you know, all alternate and taking turns and feeding the community and stuff. So that also kind of helped during also this pandemic.
Okay.
Yeah.
And if the people want to book you for a catering event, plug in on IG how they can get, in general, how they can get in contact with Hauser-Faison.
Okay, so you can always go to my website. That's www.twincitycateringco.com. You can go in there and fill out an inquiry, and or schedule a consultation, and I can give you a call back, which that's what I've been doing today. And you can also go to my website for Rosey Bloom collard greens, and that's www.roseyblooms.com. We have an online store, so we ship all over from California to Florida. So we ship.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, you're getting it in.
That's dope.
And Big Mo, I don't even have to tell you to plug how they can get in contact with you because you all over the place. So if they don't know how to get in contact with you, they ain't even living right. But I'm going to do it anyway. Simple. How can the people get in contact with Big Mo?
It's simple, man. Just on Twitter, Instagram's all the same, at BIGMO102. Email, if you have music, send it to me. I'll check it out. Make sure it's not whack, or I'll put you on an Instagram story and show how whack it is. But it's Big Mo at 102jams.com.
Okay. And Shanta, we about to come into one of the busiest cooking seasons of the year. How are you preparing for this busy holiday?
Well, now you see we have the 16 ounce. Well, we also have 32s. So we advertise the 32s around this time because not only people buy these to eat, but they also buy these for Christmas gifts.
Okay.
So they send them to like their family, friends, and we do like gift baskets and stuff like that. And then people buy the 32s because they normally have a bunch of people over, and they want to feed them, collard greens. So basically we're just trying to, re-up on our inventory. I don't think we're going to have a lot of company for my house because of COVID still, and all that stuff. But as far as the catering industry and the collard greens, I think it's the collard greens that's going to take over my holiday.
All right. And Big Mo, you busy all season, all year. How does Big Mo get up and get his day started?
You talking about when I'm working on the weekdays?
Yeah. When you working, when you putting it in.
Wake up. Get ready, check emails, check stories, check the news, see what's going on, do the show, check emails again, answer sales, answer artists, answer record labels, then probably be done about 7, 8 o'clock.
In the evening?
Sometimes, yeah.
Okay.
Just depends. That's basically my day. You know what I mean?
All right. And as far as program director, what does that entail? For people who may not have, because a lot of people get it misconstrued and think that because you're on the radio, you're just on the radio talking.
Yeah, nah. Well, program director details basically everything that you hear on the station is what I approve.
Okay.
So from the music to the promos to people on the air to what people talk about as far as station events, that all comes from me.
Okay.
So that's why it's a 24/7 job. So I got to make sure that I write the promos up, send it to the person that's voicing the promos, get it back at a sufficient time so I could go ahead and put those promos into the system. So that's how y'all could hear the next promo that we have going on.
Okay.
And the music, of course, have a music meeting, J Flex,
You're right.
Little Vegas, and we have a music meeting every Monday to decide what songs to take out, what songs to keep, what songs to just hold back on, we have a research. So
Okay.
a research, they actually call people and find out what their favorite song is, or if they don't like it, or if they do like whatever, and then there's a whole big list.
Okay.
And we kind of go through that and try to figure out what's the best steps to play, what songs are the best ones to play.
Okay.
So that's, and I mean, that's the program director, and that's program, and it got to deal with sales, because sales always may have a car dealership that want to do some type of special promotion.
Okay.
So it's my job to talk to not only the salesperson but the sales manager, as far as for that company, and figure out what we can do to make money, not just for them but for the station as well, and make it look good as far as promotion for us.
Okay.
So it's a lot of things that got to go into detail on what happens, but everything that you hear on the radio is what I approve.
Okay. So
That's how it goes.
pretty much when you're reaching with these people, you gotta have that gift of gab.
Gotta have the gift of gab.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But my job is to just make it where that everybody wins. You know what I'm saying? Like, the car show is the busiest times. So, we're trying to get sponsors, and I gotta talk to labels to bring the artists, and we gotta make sure the cars and the car clubs are happy so they can get a good spot. And it's a lot. It's a lot.
I definitely understand.
That's why I like to stay at home when I can. You know what I'm saying?
I feel you, man.
It takes a lot of money to get me to come out and do a party these days. I can't do it no more.
I ain't hosted nothing in a hot little minute. I have not hosted anything in a minute.
But see, that's why I like to, when I have some downtime, I like just to get away so I could go and clear my mind for a little while. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then come back and deal with everything.
Just breathe for a minute.
My getaway is just going to the mountains, just so I can just hide. It feels like it's my hideaway for 2 days.
You ain't gonna run into nobody that you see.
Nope,
that you know, excuse me.
Nope, not at all. You know what I'm saying? Nothing but me and a bunch of Trump supporters, and that's it. But they cool. I don't talk to them, they don't talk to me.
Right.
And we keep it moving.
That's what I love about the mask.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Right.
So, that's why I take, on my birthday, I try to go to Vegas for a week and just chill.
My partners is in Vegas right now.
That's what I want to move to eventually. Like when I'm done with everything.
I almost did it.
Did you?
I almost did it.
Man,
my partner,
do it.
That's a promoter out there. I met him out there. I was at the Mayweather fight. I met him at the Fashion Show Mall, and then we just stayed in tune. And he was like, "Man, why don't you move out here and we get something going?" I was like, "Man, I don't have nobody out there. I can't just go home like that if I got a problem or whatever." He's out there doing it. I should have took that joke.
It was tempting. I know.
Yeah.
But see, I love the West Coast. I love the diversity. I love LA. Like LA is just too much money. But I just like the diversity, the culture. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
The weather. Except in the summertime in Vegas, it gets 110 freaking degrees. So that's a different story. But I just love the different culture. You saw, I'm from New York, so I grew up in a diverse.
See, I always wanted to ask you that. I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
I heard it in your voice.
Yeah, I'm from Harlem.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm from the Bronx.
Okay.
Because you know my cousin Damon.
Yeah,
Damon Gales.
yeah. So we know when I came down here, I was just eye opener. Like I was like, wow, this is like really different. Like the culture, you know what I'm saying? Like it's like in New York, I grew up around a lot of Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, blacks, whites, all in one in the projects. I come down here, it's literally black or white, and it was just really weird. You know what I'm saying?
I was just telling my coworker that today because I just went home. Was that like 2 weeks ago? You know what I mean? And I met some of my cousins. So like some parts of my family is Jamaican, other parts is Puerto Rican. So I'm like, damn, I'm a mutt around here. You know what I mean?
Nah, my dad is married to a Dominican. So I always go up there to New York for Thanksgiving because she cooks the best food. Oh my God. So but it'd be like blacks and Dominicans all together. We dance to their music, they dance to our music, and it's cool. You know what I'm saying? It's fun, it's family. You know what I'm saying?
Sounds fun.
Yeah, but down here it's just a little different.
Yeah.
A little different.
Yeah, man. Well, as far as you, man, I know one of the biggest things, you being a program director, is content. Content is the most important thing. Have you ever experienced, I guess, I don't know how to say it, content block? You know what I mean? When you just felt like damn, I can't think of nothing. You know what I mean? No good content.
I mean, some promotions, but that's the beauty of having a team. You know what I'm saying? So if I can't think of something, or if I think of something that's pretty whack, at least I have someone to tell me, Mo, that's pretty whack. We shouldn't do that. You know what I'm saying? So I can't say I've done some, I have had some bad ideas, but someone told me before we aired it.
Okay.
So that's a good thing. You know what I mean?
And what can we expect from Jams in the future?
Man, keep rocking out. Hopefully we can get some of my staff back after this pandemic. Still be in the community heavy. Not only a car show, maybe a summer jam show. Like there's a lot of things that we have in store, you know what I'm saying? But we just got to get through this pandemic. Once we can get through this pandemic, I can have a better answer for you. But let's get through this thing first and we'll be all right.
Y'all heavy in the community. The Jams is heavy in the community. Shanta is heavy in the community. I would definitely love to see y'all link up and do something.
Anytime. I want some of them collard greens.
Yeah.
Look at that. Like,
we gotta taste some of them.
Yeah.
But Shanta, I do have a question for you.
Okay.
I was looking on your page and I see you got like 10 different factors of collard greens. What made you, when you posted that, made you want to post that for the people to see?
Well, we run into a lot of people. Well, I ain't gonna say in the South, but when we went to New Jersey, we were amazed how so many people did not know the value of collard greens, or they didn't even know like what they were, you know, and they were looking over in a pot like, is that soup? You know, and I'm like,
I'm not even gonna front. The first time I had collard greens was down south. I'd never had it up north. Ever.
Really?
Yeah,
and so we were educating people, and so like because this is my grandmother, we normally put like a rose, like white roses, and then I stuff it with fresh collard green leaves.
Okay.
As a display. They were actually wanting to touch the leaves. Like it was just crazy to see how much people did not know about collard greens and did not know how to eat it. And I was trying to tell them like, you can eat it as a side, you know, like It's really good as a side, and they're like, okay. Or I made some collard greens and I cooked them for like 30 minutes. I don't know if I did them right, stuff like that.
She had collard green chips.
Exactly. So we try to educate people. And what's cool about it is that, we've had celebrity chefs and other people that purchase our collard greens, and then they start posting recipes and posting pictures of their plates and stuff like that, and they'll post it up on Instagram. So it became this big thing, and then even going down south, like going to Atlanta, then we started developing having the collard green shots.
Collard green shots.
Yes.
Yeah, let's talk about that. What's that?
So the collard green shots, because we put them in like little, little portion cups or whatever, but we'll hand a person a fork, and they've been drunk it and ate it and throw it in their mouth, and it was like collard green shots, and so it went through this whole little phase where people was actually doing collard green shots, versus taking the fork. And so we've had like some really crazy promotions. It's been a crazy, couple of years promoting these collard greens. Like,
I know I would have took me a collard green shot, especially the way you say they taste.
Yeah.
I'm about to take me to the. We about to drive the boat. Ain't no shot. We about to drive the boat with the collard greens.
Oh yeah, and we get like so many reviews where people call and they'll eat them cold. Like they just pop the top and start eating them in the car, and it was like I just wanted to taste them, and I ate the whole jar. We would get pictures like that, and
wow.
So it's been a really crazy experience.
Okay.
Trust.
And what can we expect in the future from Rosey Blooms?
Well, we want to become a household name for sure. So we're at the process right now. We went through a major production yesterday, which a lot of people don't know, but we went through a major production because now it's getting to the point where I cannot myself produce the volumes that I'm going to have to produce, so we are actually looking into other people and co-packers and stuff like that to actually produce. Because right now, I'm telling you, I made 3,000 jars and I didn't sleep for a week, wow. And from there, I didn't want to, didn't do it. And it's me and my husband, and we're, it's just we can't do it. Yeah. We can't make 3,000 jars a week or, right. 500 jars, for one store, stuff like that. So yeah, we're in a process, and we're actually planning to expand the type of stores that we're in too. Okay. Yeah.
And being that you're around collard greens so much, do you eat them often?
You know what? Because I have to sample them so much, I don't eat them as much as I used to. Like every now and then I might open up a jar, and I've mixed them with like cabbage and stuff like that. If I'm making cabbage and I want a filler, I throw in some collard greens and stuff, and it's been good because I don't have to cook collard greens when I want to eat the collard greens.
Right.
But, my very first day selling the collard greens, I think I sampled them so much. I was like, and I had to go and stand in front of a bunch of people, but it was like, why did I do that? Oh. You know what I'm saying? Why did I do that? But, that's another story. But yeah, so yeah, it's, they're very good for your system. You know what I'm saying?
Trust me, I know. My mother says it all the time. Nah, I ate some collard greens. Nah, I ain't going out. I'm staying in.
Staying in, exactly. So, but yeah, they're very good. Yeah.
So Big Mo, man. Before we get out of here, man, I got a question for you. With the direction that some of these young fellas are going, is not a good direction. What words of inspiration for a young fella that doesn't have any direction, but that loves music, that loves the entertainment business, or will want to follow your footsteps? What would you give that young man?
They see with me. I know me. I grew up like very poor. You know what I'm saying? That's why my grandmother wanted me to come down here to go to school. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of kids still grow up in that project that they don't have that guidance. You know what I'm saying? That grandmother that could kick them in the butt and tell them, look, you gotta get up out of here and do this, do that. You know what I'm saying? Like what kids have to realize, like, you're not trapped in that environment. They could go ahead and make it if they believe and they know they want to do something in their life. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't just go downstairs or, I want to go and get that money right there. You know what I'm saying? That everybody else can, because it's not built for you. It's not made for you. Like, it's not made for everybody, because either you're going to go on that street and you're going to go to jail or you're going to die. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's best that you get up out of there and do what's best. And find something that you want. Find something that you like to do, that you love to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, she found something that she loved to do with the cooking. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just happen to find music, and maybe you want to be a rapper, which is very hard. You know what I'm saying? But if you want to be a rapper, go ahead. But there's a lot of money into that. But maybe if you go to school, you become a lawyer, a doctor, the next president, who knows? You know what I'm saying? But you just got to make sure that kids, like, you have to focus yourself to get out of the environment that you're in. Like, stay focused. You know what I'm saying? Don't go on the bad things, go on the good things. And just find something that you love to do and then go to it.
Facts. And that's definitely good words, man. You heard it first from a voice that y'all hear every day, that when y'all cut that radio on 102.1, what, it was 12 to
10 a.m.
10
a.m. to 3 p.m.
10 a.m. to 3 p.m.
Yep.
When you hear that voice, that message for the youth that does not have that guidance, you heard it right here from my bro, Big Mo, right here on Pink Talk Podcast. And for you, before we get out of here, I know, like, I love to cook, but I just don't have the patience to cook every day for a mass amount of people.
Yeah.
I'm bad in the kitchen. Chef Bobby Bugatti is me in the kitchen. But is there any particular chef that inspires you or that you would wish to work with in the future?
Well, I was inspired by B. Smith. I was really inspired by her because it seemed like we shared like a lot of the same stories. But as far as working with a chef in the future, let's see. I like Bobby Flay, actually.
High five to that. High five to that. High five to that.
Mm-hmm. And I've actually done a challenge of his before, like a cooking challenge, where I was on his website for about a month with my own recipe. So,
okay.
And he sent me his autograph, copybook and everything. So, yeah, so I would really love to, meet him and work with him and, be on one of the shows and all that great stuff. But yeah.
That's dope right there. One of my favorites is G-Boro.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's one of my favorites right there. But again, plug in for the people. The holiday season's coming up. If they want to place an order with Rosey Bloom's collard greens.
Okay, so you can go to my website, which is www.roseyblooms.com. You can also follow us on Instagram at roseyblooms_collard greens. So, yeah.
And what's the price going for on those?
So on our website, you can get them for, we actually dropped, the price there, on sale right now online, but you can get them for like $6.
$6. Get them while they hot.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
How much for the Magnum size bottle? You say you got the 32-ounce bottle. How much is?
So those are going for about 10.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great right there. We might have some look. Thanksgiving coming up. I think we might have Rosey Bloom greens.
Rosey Blooms, exactly.
Bobby is not cutting up no greens. And them shredded ones is just way too high.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, them shredded ones, what, $5 a bag?
And they be tough.
Yeah. And they be dirty. They be dirty.
Yeah.
They be gritty and all that. Big Mo, man, plug in one more time. People can get with you.
At Big Mo, at BIGMO102, Twitter, Instagram, email bigmo@102jams.com.
So if you're an up-and-coming artist and you got that fire, everybody say they got that fire.
Everybody says they got a hit.
But this man right here is going to tell you if you got it or if you don't. All right? And y'all make sure y'all follow me, B_Bugatti the host. Y'all follow Pink Talk Podcast on IG at Pink Talk Podcast. Don't forget to follow Miss Faith at Miss Faith_Pink Talk. And we are out until the next episode of Pink Talk Podcast.